going to be talking about our tips and ways to prepare the material board and make the meeting as effective as possible so that it is easy for you. From the first meeting you get at least 95% the materials approved, okay? Because this is really critical, and from the experience that we have, the projects that don't have the approval of the client in terms of size or material, they get really delayed and dragged a lot. You have a lot of issues with the supplier and all of this. Here, the responsibility of the relationship manager, my project manager, and whoever is handling the documents and the coordination, to make sure that this step is out of the way, because after that, production is ongoing. It's best مجرد متابعة and following the schedule. While preparing the material board, what are the things that needs to be in the material board? I will tell you what I like about it and what we can do better. You have the renderings, it's very good because we have the visuals, and she has the layout. So this is a must in the material board. Now every item in the material board, even if we are not doing the finishes,
yes,
okay, if for example finishes of the villa are ready and we are only bringing in the furniture, we have to try to have whatever is existing to have it on the board with us, because we need to be able to imagine everything together. The reason we're having this board is because we want to visualize the materials and how they're working together. You don't want at the end of the day that the piece of furniture is gonna come to a place where it doesn't fit with the surrounding because all the colors are not matching. So to make sure, and also for the client to visualize, and they will be more comfortable because they know that you've done your job, you checked the site, you made sure that what you are giving as a selection is the best because you have checked it and you checked that it is matching with what you're selecting. We are doing the supervision. So if we are doing the supervision, for sure we will have the material with us. Even if we're not doing the supervision, it is also good that we do the selection and we make sure that we are doing the selection, even if we give it as a free service. But we need to make sure that all the surrounding materials are on the board. Sometimes you need per space one board or two boards. The materials, they should not be stuck on the board. Why? Because sometimes, for example, I am seeing here the ebony and I want to see how this fabric looks, how is it matching with it, so I can show the client, okay, this is the 3D and this is how it is looking together, with it. I will be able to move freely. Maybe this material is appearing in another wall with a different fabric, so I can pull it together. Always have the options, from the beginning, before you start selecting, you have to ask for the budget of the fabrics. The materials that I have in terms of fabric, how much is my budget per square meter? And whenever you get any fabrics, or you need to check the price of the fabric per square meter. Sometimes the challenge, for example, let's say the fabric is 100 per square meter or 150 per square meter. So the selection that you have is not the best, So what you do is you give the best option from the price that you have, and have an alternative that you feel that it is better, but also have prepared with you how much is the increase in price that will be. So if the client, you tell her this fabric is within your budget, okay, however, it works well, however, I recommend this, which is higher, and it will cost you this much. Then if she can decide and say, most likely, she will go with the higher one. But if she doesn't, at least you did your job, you gave her the better option, but she still wanted to stick to the budget, and it's fine. But always make sure that you're doing your job in terms of what is best for the project. Whenever you face this challenge of options that you have are not matching with the budget, this is the solution to it. Have this, but always take with you catalogs. If I choose this fabric, okay? Sometimes you find from the same catalog something that is matching with it. So in a lot of cases, I went to the meeting and I selected one fabric that the client liked, and then we ended up selecting the rest of it from the catalog. So always take the catalogs with you. Always there should be two people, not one, okay? One is presenting, and for example, if Dalia is presenting, while she's talking to the client, she might go off track because she might say, okay, what about this one, what about this one, but she's not sure if she covered everything here. The next person that is next to her, he's listening to all the points and putting the comments. For example, here the client wants an alternative and the alternative is this. So the other person is taking all the comments because Dalia will be busy presenting the material. You tell the client that we need 10 to 15 minutes to arrange. So it should not be like as soon as you enter, then you are fixing in front of the client, okay? Because sometimes when you move this, it's moving, and whenever you finish it, take a picture of it from the top. Have the picture with you on the file, because later on, if this material board is approved, you always have it in the system that you have a picture of the overall. So whenever it is approved with the names of it and you have a picture, and after the meeting, if you change it and you change, for example, everything is approved, but this material is changed. So you change the material and you take another picture and put it in the system. Okay, so we know this is the final material that is approved. It's easy for everyone to enter the folder and see what was the final one. And as later, for example, in the handover, he can take a look at the material board and make sure that everything is matching with what the client requested. Each sample should have at the back, it's good, Dalia here, she mentioned the type of the material and it's a clear glass, and she put here if it is approved, not approved. What I will add is I will have the sticker at the back. It should have material, the client name, the project number, and it should have like which room is in the project, and then you put approved or rejected, and then the signature of the client. Why? If later this sticker you change it to somewhere else, at least you have a file of it. Of these are this is the code of the material, and this is there is the code all in one sticker. The code, the project name, the location of it, and because the client is mentioned there, so it is signed. Later on, if the client says or you lose the material or whatever, at least we have this page where it is signed, and we can send an email to the client with all the material log, and these are the approved things. Usually during the meeting you get really distracted with the client, so it's very overwhelming. The client will be asking so many questions, so you will be really busy making sure that what you need to get out of the meeting. The other person needs to be the controlling of this. Extra selection will be for fabrics, wallpaper, marble, wood, for all the materials basically. Yeah, this is what I wanted to cover. For example, present to us how you're gonna present this.
Find the spaces that we have in the project. We will be supporting you during the process if you need anything regarding the fit out, because it's our design, it's part of our service that we do for the client.
Okay. Make sure that all the materials are on the board, nothing is missing, because you have to make sure that everything works together. يعني the metal is there, the wood is there, the marble is there, the cushions is there, the trims are there, everything. يعني ما في حاجة missing. All of it. Especially I'm gonna highlight موضوع الcushion. Anything you ignore and you leave at the end بيجي in the side بطريقة إنه this is not what we want. Yeah.
For all, I coded the furniture and the layout. So whatever sample that we have here, like for example, 2.02, it's written here with where is 2.02. So I can refer to it. I will start first with the sofas, the big items that we created the samples for. Explain the fabrics, what are the cushions that comes with the fabrics. Client also suggested to have some alternatives. For example, this cushion.
It's good that you're showing it in the iPad. Always have the iPad prepared. حتى if you don't have internet there, this is a very good point. Whenever you're going, when you show it in the iPad, it's more appealing. يعني the client can you zoom in, you can
and they can see the
colors.
colors.
Because this is good, but it's not enough for the client to imagine. Yes.
So I will show the fabrics, the alternatives. I also have backups of catalogs and hangers. So I will start with the sofas, I will start with the armchairs and the curtains together with it. So wherever like there is, for example, a curtain that there is a window frame around it. So I will put, for example, the wood veneer that we have here around, just to visualize how it look like.
Yeah, okay.
And I also have a couple of options for the fit out. So in case, because in the cushion, here I found some discrepancies and the colors wasn't really nice, that it was in the LOF. So I prepared a couple of options that's matching more with the renders and the design. So I can explain to the client that this is the original one, for example, in our BOQ, in our list of finishes, but I think this one is matching better, and it's
and if she approve it, then we will send an email to the consultant that this has been changed from this to this.
Exactly. I will immediately just take this and stick it here, and she will sign on this. And this one I'll put it on the side. And then when we come back to the office, we will update our document and we'll send it again.
Always as a designer fight for this. Always as a designer make sure that you have the client buy in with you. لأنه كده she is getting the best service from eBay. She hired Eva because she wanted to get the overall designer look. To make sure that you are laying out everything together and you're handing over the complete thing. Yeah. Next time مثلا we have a site, we take a picture of the site before the accessories and we take a picture of the site after the accessories. But now we can do it in the 3D.
Maybe we can do this as part of the presentation for the accessories that you showed me before. You know, when we present the accessories in the presentation, we put before and after the renders.
Yes.
And then after the renders, it's with accessories and then we show the accessories selection.
Yeah. بالنسبة للprojects اللي هي مثلا client is in Qatar, we will take a trip during also the first week. يعني مثلا we will email اللي هو الكونتراكتور اللي هو الفاكتوري. We will email him that we want you to be prepared with these list of things for every room, okay, and make sure that he's really prepared. Take a trip to the factory, take with you the materials اللي هي that you have مثلا in terms of marble, in terms of this, that you need to take with you as a reference from what is existing in the site or from what we have specified. And then you go there and you spend the first day, maybe a day and a half, select everything, okay? And then you take videos, we create a group, okay? And you take videos. When you're in the factory, you don't have this small sample. This is the wood that we have selected, and next to it, مثلا, there is this fabric, وهنا دي الترم بتاعته, and I show him how the fabric is, okay? وبعدين I send the video in the group and I write materials for bedroom كذا, okay? Don't take the video before you're 100% sure that everything is matching together. يعني this is the tip that I want to give you. If you don't do that, you will keep doing changes and changes and changes. بس أنا sometimes يعني when I go, I sit يعني and it's an exhausting thing because you have to do everything at the same time. ف do it, take breaks, ما أعرف شنو, بس make sure you're happy with whatever you selected. You have مثلا sometimes you're confused about something, you give 2 options, but clarify your options, make your video as clear as possible. Here in this trip just for you, and I want to make sure that we both are in the same page and what I selected for you is what you like and everything.
Is when we select the furniture in the design phase, we know the brands of each furniture, even if we know that this is just design. It will be much easier to create all of this.
100%. It doesn't have to know the brand of every item, but even if it's customized, it's feasible to customize.
It's feasible because they know the details of it.
Exactly. To be feasible, to be customized.
يعني we try our best إنه within a week, 10 days maximum, this material board is ready. Yes.
يعني نعمل small meeting هون قبل الميتنج مع الكلاينت before 1 day 2 days to make sure all the sample is okay. نعمل small presentation ونشرح لبعض نتأكد كل شيء okay.
Tomorrow morning we do this.
Everyone, if you have any questions later on, you can raise